Hello everyone, welcome to the Institute. Let's start today our first lecture with Social Studies. And the chapter 1 is Heritage of India. Now before starting the chapter, first of all let's know what's the meaning of heritage. Heritage means something that is passed down through generations, and India is a land of ancient culture. Culture, you can call it as addition of customs, moral values, traditions, etc. Ancient Indian scripture. Now here the word scripture, what do you mean by it? Scripture means sacred writings of a religion. Here we are going to talk about the Indian scripture. So ancient Indian scripture Vishnu Puran states that Uttaram yat samudrasya himadreshchev dakshinam Varshatada Bharat Nama Bharati Yatra Sansati. Now here the words written in Sanskrit over here means that India extends from Himalaya in north to the Indian Ocean in the south. It is said that new descendants are called Indians. Descendants means that has come down. For example, modern art is a descendant of the art of past. In the beginning of any auspicious ceremony, auspicious, you can take it as some very precious or prosperous ceremony. Some words like Bharatvarsh, Bharatkhand, Jambudvip, Aryavarta, etc. These words were used while taking resolution. Resolution means a strong decision to do something, or it could be a strong decision to not to do something. For example, you might take a strong decision in your life to do something great. That's called resolution. Our country is gifted with natural boundaries, that's Himalaya in the north and sea in the east, west and south. From all over the world, different countries mesmerized by Indian prosperity, mesmerized that is they got attracted to by Indian richness. So they came over here to do trading with us. Then they settled here and mixed up, that is mingled up with Indian culture. That is this tribes that came from other countries. They added up with Indian culture. So what they brought their culture along with them to our country, it was added up into our Indian culture and Indian culture started becoming vast. Now due to mutual exchange between various tribes, many changes we have seen in our culture. In this way, our heritage is transferred from generation to generation and it is continuously progressing. However, we are going to study about various tribes that came to India like Aryans, Dravidians, Kol, Munda, Khashi. All these tribes came to India since ancient time. The last were the Britishers. You can't call it a tribe, but at least they were the people who came from other country and settled in our country. So their culture also you can see in our daily life how we have added up and mingled up in Indian culture, like our English education, or you can see the food habits and many more things, dress style. All these things are being added up in our Indian culture. Similarly, various tribes culture also were added up, like the Aarti that the Hindus that they do and Diya that we light during Diwalis. All this were not a part of Indian culture in the beginning, but they were added up into Indian culture when the tribes like Aryans and Dravidians came and settled and mingled with us. Now let's move on to the next part, and that is India, location and area. Now this is all we have already done in 9th standard. That's area wise, India stands on 7th rank and population wise it's on 2nd. Now this you will have to learn for your 1 mark objective, 7th rank and 2nd. Now let's move ahead to the next part, that is rich and varied heritage. Our motherland has bestowed, that is gifted us with rich and varied heritage. Varied, that is variety. Not only this gift was given to us by our motherland, but it was given to the whole world. Indian culture have been trade oriented and peace loving. Now, three most terms, important terms over here, that is Sat, Chit and Anand. You will have to learn for your objective as for 1 marker. So before that, let's understand the meaning of it. Sat, that is Satya, honesty, truthfulness. Chit, that's concentration, and Anand, that is happiness. Which I think so you must be enjoying at present a lot. Enjoying your vacation, being too happy. So move ahead. Sat, Chit and Anand are realized from Indian culture. Realize, that is, people became aware of these three important terms from Indian culture. Besides this, Indian culture also prospered with the mutual exchange of different culture of other countries, as I told you in the previous part, that how different tribes came from different countries and mingled up with us. They settled over here in India and became Indians. So there was a mutual exchange of these different cultures of other countries who came to us and settled in India. They also have accepted some important values from us like non-violence, peace, which have been adopted and admired by the whole world. People right from the beginning of the Indus Valley civilization till today, Indus, that is River Sindhu. So right from the beginning of Indus Valley civilization till today, people have made our country rich and wealthy with their intellectuality, ability, talent and skill. Skill, you may also call it like as your avrat that you call many a times, that you are skilled in something. Skill could be a person is skilled in maybe painting or skill in stitching. So these are various skills that has made our country rich. Then it was the ability of the people, it was the talent of many people that has made our country rich and wealthy. Innumerable scholars, that is many great number of scholars, thinkers, artists, artisans, sages, saints, scientists and historians have contributed to the growth and development of a culture. So this was not the journey of only one or two people, but it was a journey of many great scholars and thinkers and saints as mentioned over here, which led to the development of our Indian culture. Culture is a sum total of habits, values, customs, traditions and conduct of lifestyle of human. Now this also is very important 1 marker, that is what is culture. And for 2 marker, you will have to learn this whole paragraph under the heading of rich and varied heritage. Again for 1 marker, you will have to learn Sat, Chit and Anand as I told you before. And just go through the textbook over and over again, or the videos that we are sending over and over again for your objectives, for your 2 markers, which we will be guiding you after each slide that I am moving ahead. So please pay attention when I am moving ahead with the words. Now move on to the next part. Meaning of culture. Now this could be also asked as for 1 marker or could be asked for 2 marker at the same time. Meaning of culture. Culture means the way we live our life. It is made of changes that occur in public life. Here it is THAT, that is a printing mistake. So culture is made up of changes that occurs in public life, that is our daily life, our social rules and regulations of different societies. It can be said that culture is a sum total of habits, values, custom, tradition, ideals, leading humans to its highest level. Leading humans to its highest level means how do we move ahead? How do we progress in our life? That is culture. The total of all these things together makes human society progressive. Let's move ahead to the new topic, that's cultural heritage of India. Now heritage, as I told you before, that is something passed down through generation. So heritage means a valuable gift from our forefathers to us. Indian history is thousands of years old. Your objective, once again, Indian history is dash years old. And we say in school pledge, I love my country and I am proud of its rich and varied heritage. In this context, heritage is a precious gift from our motherland to the whole world about the mysteries of human life. We divide our heritage into two divisions. Now that we are going to move ahead, will be related to two division, means heritage divided into two parts, natural and cultural heritage. So before starting, let me give you a brief idea of what is natural heritage. Natural heritage you can consider that is gifted to us by nature or by God, that is mountains, rivers, valleys, plateaus, wildlife, vegetation, etc. Whereas cultural heritage we can consider as a heritage that is created by man, that is Taj Mahal, Sidi Saidni Jali and many other, which, don't worry, we are going to study ahead in detail about all these things. So please collect your lots of energy and be ready for the next slide, which is related to, here it goes, natural heritage of India and cultural heritage. So natural heritage of India, the result of close relationship between nature, environment and human life. That is called natural heritage. Now this is also going to be very important as your one marker. That is nature, environment and human life together is called natural heritage. Natural heritage of India is unique and varied. That is varied, as I told you before also, variety. Natural heritage doesn't include only one thing or two things like rivers and lakes, or rivers and vegetation, or vegetation and wildlife. It is full of variety. It includes features like mountains, forests, deserts, rivers, streams, seas, trees, plants, creepers, flowers, leaves, insects and varied landscapes, wide range of minerals, vegetation, plants and animals. Now don't worry, you need not learn this many words. You can just pick up 3 to 4, that is mountain, forest, rivers, streams, vegetation, and you can put it down as one more important word and an easy word for you, that is etc. Now we are the children of nature, so it has made a beautiful arrangement for our food, water, fresh air and dwelling to cater our all needs. Cater means to provide us, to satisfy us with all our needs. We treat nature with respect and faith. The example of a close relation with nature are stories of Panchatantra and Jataka tales of Buddhist religion. Now the above sentence over here that was written, we treat nature with respect and faith. Now that is what I think so. We have started understanding about it in these last few days by remaining in our house as in home arrest, that actually we should treat nature with respect and faith, which we had forgotten in last this many years. So let's enjoy once again ahead. Our classical and folk music and several rags, now don't call it ragas, it is rags, are based on prahar. Once again it is not prahar. Prahar मतलब कि मैं डंडा लेके तुम पे प्रहार कर रही हूँ. So babies, it's not prahar, it's prahar. That is parts of a day, or you can also term it as period of a day. Similarly, Ayurveda, Unani, nature cure are totally based on nature. Now we'll take let's go back a bit, that is towards the third last line, that is example of a close relation with nature are stories of Panchatantra. Most of you must have read these storybooks named Panchatantra and Jataka tales, mostly which are related to Buddhist religion. Now, as soon as we move out of this house arrest, I could only request you go to some bookstore or crossword and pick up books like Panchatantra or Jataka tales, and you are going to enjoy it. Next, we come to classical music. Nowadays, I don't think so anybody loves classical music or folk music. But here, as objective, you will have to learn the word classical, folk, Panchatantra, Jataka tales. These are all your objectives as in fill-ups. So these two forms of music and various rags are based on parts of a day. Now I can't ask you over here that yes babies tell me how many prahars are there or how many parts of a day are there. So here it's one-sided. So let me tell you that there are 8 parts of a day. So let's start and you also think about it at the same time. So first is not morning. Though we start a day with morning, but the first part of a day is dawn. Now it's not Shahrukh or Amitabh babies. It's D-A-W-N. That's dawn and not D-O-N. Now this dawn word means before sun rises. So that's the first prahar of a day. Then we come to second. That is when the sun rises. That is called morning. The third, we come towards noon. That is 12 o'clock. When the sun is overhead. Though at present we are not allowed to move out. But yes, you must be knowing when it is noon, overhead sun. And the fourth is afternoon. That is after 12 o'clock. Then the fifth is evening. That is, you can call it as a part before sunset. Then comes dusk. That is after sun sets but before the night starts. Seventh is your night. That is when the sun totally sets down, there's dark sky, and finally we come to midnight. So these are the 8 parts or prahars of a day. Similarly, now we move on towards Ayurveda, Unani, nature cure. Ayurveda you all must be knowing. That's one best example is in our Satyam Mall at the ground floor, Patanjali, and one more Ayurvedic store we have. They deal with Ayurveda medicine. Second is Unani. Unani also is a type of medicine. You can term it as a system of alternative medicine which actually originated in ancient Greece. But now it is more practiced in our country, that's in India. And this system makes more use of herbal remedies. And then there is nature cure. Now nature cure again makes use more of herbs. So all this Ayurveda, Unani, nature cure are based on nature. Once again, it's a part of our objective. 3 words: Ayurveda, Unani, nature cure. Now let's move on to the next part, and that's landscape. Beautiful landscapes are generally formed due to different shapes of land. Now different shapes, that is, you don't actually see the shapes of land. Shapes of land here means somewhere it is a raised portion, somewhere it is a flat land, somewhere you will see mountains or hills and so on. Now here for example you can take Himalaya is a landscape. It has gifted or endowed Indians on a large scale, that is abundantly, with useful vegetation and minerals. strange birds, animals, and mountain peaks covered with snow. Brimming rivers, that is, overflowing rivers, are the gift of Himalayas. Forests of Terai and its pilgrimage places like Amarnath, Badrinath, Kedarnath, and summit, that is the topmost part of the mountain, that's like Nanda Devi, are in Himalayas. So in ancient time, Himalayas has a greater importance for Indians and also for India, you can say. So your objective, you can take it as Amarnath, Badrinath, Kedarnath and Nanda Devi. Move on to the next part, and that's rivers. Rivers have been providing natural way since ancient time. Natural ways, that is, people used to make use of river for transportation and many other uses it has. Indian culture has developed or grown, or you can call flourished, on the river bank of, here you can take it as again your objective, dash and dash, that is river Indus and Ravi. Rivers like Ganga, Yamuna, Saraswati, Indus, Narmada, Godavari, Krishna, once again dear all, need not learn all, just learn 2 to 3 names over here and then etc. Which I think so you enjoy a lot writing etc over here. So all these rivers have greatly, that is profoundly influenced people of India. Rivers are the source for drinking water, domestic use, that is household, work, irrigation, electricity production and for waterways. Beside this, man was dependent on river to develop industries of clay utensils, clay that is मिट्टी के बर्तन, clay utensils, plastering, मतलब कि जो हम प्लास्टरिंग करते हैं हमारे घर में, and for building of houses, that is to construct the house we make use of water. Not only in ancient time but even today we make use of water in all this work, and there are many industries that makes lots of use of water, like for maximum water is used in making, in cloth making, paper making. So water is an important resource. River water has made human life beautiful and prosperous, that is rich. Landscape scenes at dawn and dusk are very fascinating on the side of the river bank. These are the source of inspiration for artists, and they have enriched, that is made their lives rich by developing the aesthetic sense. Here the word aesthetic means concern with beauty or concern with appreciating the beautiful things. Now the word over here, that is dawn and dusk, once again you understood the meaning of dawn and dusk as I told you before. It's D-A-W-N and not D-O-N. Dusk, that is after sunset but before night stars. So these words you are going to learn for your once again objectives, and name of few rivers, and the second line of this paragraph, that is bank of Indus and Ravi. So Indus and Ravi, very important for your 1 marker. Move ahead, that is vegetation. Now, people of India are environment lovers in ancient time. Its proof is their love and affection towards flowers and shrubs and plants. So, human, animal, birds, etc. are dependent on tree for their food. So, we all are depending on tree for food and all. Banyan and peepal tree and basil are worshipped in India, and cereals, pulses, oilseeds, plants, green fields, prosperous herbs, packed forests, medicinal plants have very much made our life rich. That is, they have ultra enriched our life from ancient time. So it's not only today that we make use of all this, it's in ancient time that we have been making use of it. Harde, Amla, Behra, Aloe vera, Adusi, Neem, once again 2 or 3 words you can remember, etc. Medicines and flowers like rose, lotus, mogra, damro, sunflower, champa, jui, jasmine have made human life beautiful, fragrant, healthy, and prosperous. The social and religious life of India is greatly influenced by vegetation. Now, how our social life is influenced by vegetation? Social life, that is, we make all these things are used in our daily life by people in society or is used. Religious life, that is, this flowers and all, we devote it to God, we offer it to God in temples, and at the time of some puja and all in a house, we offer flowers to God. So social and religious life of people of India is greatly influenced by vegetation. So the next part, that's wildlife. India is a nature lover in ancient time. It's a country with animal lover culture. Tiger, lion, elephant, rhino, leopard, fox, bear. It's not bear, it's bear. And yes, deer and not dare. Then there is sambar, not sambar, it's sambar. Rabbit, python, snake, mongoose, lizard, porcupine, like many such organisms are found and seen in our forest. Asian lions in the world are found only in the Gir forest of Gujarat. Very, very, very important. One marker. Our religious belief has given a status of god and goddess's vehicle to some of the wild animal. Now why? When we fold our hands in front of god or goddess, at the same time, the god or goddess that making use of any animal or bird as his vehicle, our hands automatically gets folded in front of that also. So we consider god goddess vehicle also as religious, and like tiger, peacock, alligators, eagles, etc. Then there is a national currency which is highly valued by having figure of dash lion, that is 4 lion, dash and dash, that is horse and bull. So please remember there are 4 lions, though we can see only 3. And then there is horse and bull and not any other words. Please learn these 3. Furthermore, to protect the wildlife, reserves are created and even laws for the protection of their life have been enacted. Now, if you have any doubt related to this, feel free to WhatsApp. Your problem will be solved, and your worksheet will be followed after this, that is, will WhatsApp it. That worksheet you will have to very sincerely do it, but go through the videos. As every year I tell my students that read the chapters till Jan end at least 10 times so that it becomes easy for you to score very good marks of your choice, of course. And next is, I'll be sending you test papers also. But before that, go through this video as many times as you can and make note of the words that you have not understood, so that we'll be more careful to go much in detail. Thank you very much, and bye babies. Miss you all a lot.